Welcome to Suthichai Live English Podcast. In his latest column in the Bangkok Post, well-known political scientist of Chulalongkorn University, Thitinan Phongsutherak, gave his column the headline, Signs and Symptoms of Thai Stagnation. Why does he say Thailand is stagnated? Dr. Thitinan says Thailand is faring poorly in the world. That is no longer in dispute. Not so long ago, he says, many were in denial and insist that Thailand could still bring a good game to engage abroad, that Teflon Thailand could bounce back. But the well-known political scientist says that now just about all indicators are pointing south. The causes of this country's decline and stagnation are not singular, but multifaceted over a 2-decade period. Dr. Thitinan argues that Thailand's situation is likely to worsen before hopes for a better future can arise. It is instructive to start counting the costs. Now, Ping and Pong will dive into Dr. Thitinan's arguments because a lot of Thais believe that Thailand has gone south for too long. Now it's time to start picking up. But whether that will succeed or not, let's see what Dr. Thitinan has to say. Hi, Ping and Pong.
Welcome to Suthichai Live English Podcast.
I am Ping.
And I am Pong. Welcome to the Deep Dive.
This is where we take your source material, break it down into the key insights.
And those surprising facts, too. Helping you get informed quickly without feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah, exactly.
Today, we're plunging into, well, a really crucial piece from the Bangkok Post.
The opinion article, Signs and Symptoms of Thai Stagnation.
That's the one, by Thitinan Phongsutherak.
Okay.
So our mission for you in this deep dive is to unpack the many causes and consequences of Thailand's current situation.
Right, understand the expert's view on why it matters.
And look at the potential implications.
Yeah.
For Thailand, certainly, but also ASEAN and maybe even wider.
Got it. So where do we start?
Okay, let's unpack this. The author, Thitinan, he really doesn't waste any time.
No.
He asserts right away that Thailand's struggles, globally speaking, are no longer in dispute.
So much for denial.
Exactly. He says that whole denial phase, that belief in Teflon Thailand,
Where problems just slide off.
yeah, that's gone. Now, he says just about all indicators pointing south.
Yeah.
That's quite an opening statement.
It truly is. And what's fascinating, I think, is how the article frames it.
How so?
It's not just a temporary blip, It's presented as a decline with multifaceted causes.
Right, spanning a 2-decade period. That's
It
significant.
really is. And the author suggests, demands, really, a frank assessment.
Warning that if the country stays stuck and sclerotic,
Kind of rigid, resistant to change.
exactly, then there's no good future for later generations.
Wow. That really makes you wonder, okay, what does this stagnation actually look like on the ground?
Well, let's start where the article does, with the political landscape.
Which it calls unstable and unwieldy.
Yes, and here's where it gets really interesting for me, the statistic.
Which one?
No fewer than 6 prime ministers have been suspended from office in the past 20 years.
6 in 20 years.
And most of them actually removed from office eventually.
No, that's not just instability, that's chronic disruption.
It feels like a pattern.
Absolutely. And to give you a sense of it, the article mentions the current issue, the deliberation over PM Pentarn Shinawatра's suspension.
Right.
And it points out, previous leaders like Yingluck Shinawatra faced removal too. The only one who apparently survived a full term, according to the piece.
Let me guess.
The army general who led the 2014 coup.
Right. Says a lot.
It does. And connecting this to the bigger picture, the author argues the real game in Thai politics isn't just about, say, one family versus another.
Okay, so what is it about?
It's about keeping establishment ways and means on top.
Maintaining the status quo.
and nipping all potential threats in the bud. Basically, keeping democratic development fractious and pathetic.
Wow, fractious and pathetic. Strong words.
And how they do that? Through legal, constitutional, and military interventions.
And the article provides examples of this systematic approach, right?
It does.
It points to the actions against the Future Forward Party and Thanathorn Wangrungrong Kit back in 2019-20.
Yes. And then its successor party.
Move Forward. And Peta Limjaroen Rat in 2023-24.
Both dissolved. Leaders banned.
And Mr. Peta and 43 other Move Forward leaders facing potential lifelong bans.
That's what it says, over proposing to reform the royal defamation law.
Which is, we should note, an extremely sensitive issue in Thailand, Section 112.
Very sensitive, so it feels like a constant pushback against any real reform push.
So, okay, this persistent political instability, what's the actual tangible impact?
Well, the article is quite clear. It states changing prime ministers at short notice without predictability is bad for business.
Made sense.
And Thailand's international standing.
I can imagine. Diplomats must get tired of explaining.
Exactly. It says Thai diplomats abroad are constantly faced questions about protests, coups, judicial interventions, sudden leadership changes.
You know, the article asks a really sharp question there.
Which one?
Who, it asks, wants to do business in and with Thailand when it is uncertain who will be the prime minister next month?
That cuts right to it, doesn't it? It's not just politics. It hits the economy directly.
Speaking of the economy, if that's the political backdrop, what's happened economically?
Oh, yeah.
The article says the costs have stacked up markedly.
Yeah.
So what does this mean for economic performance?
Well, the argument is if the political crisis had been short, maybe you could overlook it.
But it hasn't been short.
No. 20 years on, the consequences are pretty stark, especially when you look around the region.
Stiff competition out there.
Very stiff. Thailand's economic growth trajectory, it's fallen to just 1-2%.
1 to 2%. That's slow.
It is. Meanwhile, look at Vietnam, concurrently clocking 6-8%.
Wow. That's a huge difference.
And the article projects Vietnam's economy is on course to surpass Thailand's in 5 years.
Surpass Thailand's.
Really?
Wow.
That's the projection. Which positions Thailand, except for Myanmar, basically.
As the economic laggard of Southeast Asia?
Yeah. Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, even Singapore, all growing faster.
That's a sobering picture. It shows how politics and economics are just completely intertwined.
Absolutely.
So it's probably not surprising then, given that economic news.
What's that?
The Thai stock market, reported as the world's worst performer so far this year.
Ouch. Yeah, I saw that headline.
And the article connects this directly to low corporate governance standards and structural collusion and graft.
That's a heavy accusation about how business operates.
It is. Is there evidence cited?
Well, the author gives some concrete examples.
Okay.
He mentions the True DTAC merger, arguing it created undue monopolistic market power.
Right.
And the ongoing saga between Airports of Thailand, AOT, and King Power, the duty-free concessionaire.
Ah, yes. What about that?
AOT has apparently done little despite missed payments from its concessionaire. And then, quite tellingly, a former AOT chief executive has just been appointed as the head of King Power.
Oh, well, that certainly raises eyebrows.
It does. Another one is Thai Airways. Despite getting out of bankruptcy.
Yeah.
It's conspicuously slid down airline popularity rankings.
So these aren't just minor issues. They suggest deeper systemic problems affecting competitiveness.
That seems to be the argument, yes.
And the challenges aren't just internal, right? The article mentions external pressures too.
Like the U.S. tariffs under President Trump, the reciprocal ones.
Yeah, and what's striking there is the criticism of the Thai negotiating team.
Described as complacent and nonchalant.
Right. Apparently misleading the public that things were under control.
While Vietnam, which was also initially faulted,
now has a tariff deal with the U.S.
Exactly. Which the article says will attract foreign investments away from Thailand.
So the author suggests this is down to ineptitude and incompetence.
That's the phrasing used, yes. Leading Thailand to have lost its mojo.
Lost its mojo. Okay.
So this brings us to a really important question, I think.
What's that?
What happens when your politics are stuck, seemingly in a loop?
And the economy is in the doldrums for so long.
Exactly. What's the human impact?
Well, the article paints a, frankly, sobering picture there, too.
The brain drain.
Yeah. Young Thais who get opportunities abroad, they're grabbing them with no hesitation.
And no intention of coming back indefinitely.
It's that classic brain drain scenario.
Yeah.
The country's losing its future talent.
And that must affect the mood, the feeling within the country, too.
Absolutely. The author describes decline as an everyday feeling in Thailand.
An everyday feeling.
But felt most sharply, he says, when you're outside the country.
Interesting. How so?
Being abroad, especially somewhere like Vietnam, apparently gives an unmistakable sense of having fallen backwards and behind.
Wow.
A feeling where, quote, traditionalism trumps modernism.
That's a powerful observation. It connects the political and economic stagnation to a kind of cultural feeling.
It really does. It brings the data down to an emotional level.
Now, the article does say it's not all doom and gloom.
Right. There's a sliver of hope mentioned. That reform could emerge eventually.
But there's a big but.
Yeah. It concludes with this really quite wistful thought that the going will be tough.
And that by the time reform and change could emerge, there may not be much left to build back.
It's a stark warning, isn't it? Almost a plea for urgency.
It really feels like it. Action needed now before it's too late.
So we've just deep dived into these signs and symptoms of Thai stagnation.
Yeah, from the relentless political instability.
And its roots in keeping the old ways on top.
To the lagging economy compared to its neighbors.
And that worrying brain drain of young talent.
The article really lays out a nation facing these profound, interconnected challenges.
Yeah, suggesting that holding on to traditionalism when the region modernizes, well, it carries pretty significant costs.
It certainly impacts its standing, its future prospects, a stark assessment.
So, thinking about this whole analysis for you, our listener, what stands out most? And what does it really mean for a country when, as the author puts it, traditionalism trumps modernism? Something to ponder.
Definitely food for thought.
We hope you feel more informed now and better equipped to think critically about these dynamics, not just for Thailand, but for ASEAN and beyond.
Yeah, these issues often have wider ripples.
Thank you all for following Suthichai Live English Podcast.
We try to deep dive into issues affecting Thailand, ASEAN, and the region for you.
Stay tuned for the next episode in Suthichai